Here we go!
Hey, what's up, Blue Blurs? This is your boy Blake, proud chief of the Blue Blurs, here to present you with the second episode of my playthrough of Sonic 2 Absolute. In the last episode, we played through the Emerald Hill Zone. Actually, I'm going to backtrack for a bit. And now we're going to be going through the Chemical Plant Zone, which is the second stage in Sonic 2. Right off the bat, you have these two paths to choose from that make up a prolonged infinity symbol of sorts, and usually I take the lower route to get the stage over and done with. Wow, Tails is all ready to go. I see him revving up that spin dash already. Just like in the instruction manual of Sonic 2 on the Genesis. Does anybody remember that? I don't know if you knew, but back during the days of the Genesis, there was a little bit of lore for each Sonic game in their manual, which was amazing. Considering the games themselves never were too lore heavy, except maybe for Sonic 3, which conveyed a lot of story just through the in-game cutscenes, and without dialogue at that. That was amazingly impressive for a game in 1994. But yeah, Sonic 2 had a little bit of lore about how Sonic and Tails met up, and eventually Tails learned to keep up with Sonic before Eggman showed up and started causing trouble. But yeah, here we are, Chemical Plant, the first stage that people tend to think of whenever they think of Sonic 2 in any capacity. Not me though. I tend to think more about, Tails, where exactly are you? I need you over here, cause I gotta go up here. Thank you. Now I'm gonna have him fly me up to these platforms, as there is a checkpoint up here to the left, which I had to come to get the third Chaos Emerald, because if I just kept playing the stage normally, we would not have found a checkpoint, and we would have been at the end already. This stage isn't exactly any longer than either act of the Emerald Hill Zones. Well, I think the first act isn't. So it's mostly meh, but Act 2 is where things get a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I had to take a detour to make sure I got the third Chaos Emerald, and so here we are. I think we're going for 60 rings right now. You'll want to be careful, because when you get to the third special stage, they start to get more challenging. The bombs, for one, become more numerous, and when you're taking these turns like right here, your field of vision becomes super limited, so they can start getting difficult to avoid. You gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, that's it for the first phase. Get 110 rings. And yo, I mentioned it in the last episode, but I swear the tech for Sonic and Tails' names and their ring counters is a lot sharper here. Sonic 2 Absolute is the GOAT, bro. Alright, 2 rings to go. Come on, come on, come on. There better be more. There better be more. There better be more. Alright, good, good, good. The bomb is sticking to the walls. As long as they don't show up at the center, that's good enough for me, because they're the hardest to see whenever you're taking a turn in the special stages, because of how limited your vision gets. 160 rings is up next. Oh crap! Whoa, I jumped that one way too late, and Tails already fallen behind. But that was kind of my fault. I didn't jump in time. And as long as Tails taking the fall, I'm happy, because he's not carrying the bulk of our rings right now. And usually that isn't the case. He only has 2 to drop now, and I think we met the requirement already. We're at 184, and there it is. The third Chaos Emerald, and it's the red emerald. I must be colorblind, because when I watched over the footage for the first episode, I thought the second special stage was pink rather than purple, but then I looked it over and I was like, no wait, it's totally more purple than pink. And I'm having a similar crisis here, trying to decide if the third stage are red or brown, because usually the color matches that of the emerald that you are collecting. So yeah, my vision must be getting bad. But while talking about the emeralds, there was something in the last episode that I neglected to show you guys. I'm going to pause real quick and show you. What we have here is a stylized pause menu that's based on the title card that shows up before each of the stages in Sonic 2. You can restart the stage from the beginning or from the last checkpoint you touched, like this one right here. And at the bottom, you can see a counter for how many Chaos Emeralds that you picked up, next to where it says Sonic 2 Absolute. This is really good, because if you want to check how many emeralds you have, you'd have to go back to the save menu normally, but this time around, you only have to pause the game and you can see how many emeralds that you've got on you. It's a nice quality of life change right here, and in fact, Sonic 2 Absolute is full of quality of life changes that make it so much better to play. Team Forever definitely outdid themselves making this, along with Sonic 1 Forever. While I'm bringing that up, I can do a series covering Sonic 1 Forever sometime. But now we got the emerald, we can just come up this way and we're already at the end. We only gotta spin dash right past here, and ba-boom, baby! That's it for Act 1 of Chemical Plant. If you really wanted to try, you could beat this stage in literally less than 30 seconds, I kid you not. Or maybe not less than that, maybe a little over that, but I bet the master speedrunners out there would like to show me strategy for speedrunning this stage in under 30 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Anyway, Chemical Plant Act 2 is up next, and this is where the stage starts to attract the reputation that it has. For example, for like, that pink water that makes me really nervous for some reason. If you didn't know, I was quoting dialogue from Tails and Sonic Generations when they went through the Chemical Plant Zone. It definitely brought back the memories, man. And you'll see that so-called pink water here in Act 2 a little later on. First off, let's take care of these guys. We got a fire shield, but this stage has water in it. Although, not so much water like with the Labyrinth Zone. It's with this stage the Sonic team definitely learned their lesson about going overboard with the water output. And here's some lore here. With Sonic 1, the Labyrinth Zone, which is the stage that people hate the most about Sonic 1, apart from maybe Marble, when I think about it, maybe Scrap Brain was the most hated stage, especially Act 3, but Labyrinth typically comes up in conversation about Sonic 2. Not Sonic 2, Sonic 1, sorry. But yes, Sonic 1 was gonna have Labyrinth set to be the second stage, but Sonic Team realized how bad a decision that would be, so they backtracked on it and went with the Marble Zone instead, then the Spring Yard Zone, and that was when they threw the Labyrinth Zone at us. And I'm really glad they did that because people were already raging over the Labyrinth Zone as it stood. But thankfully they learned their lesson about level design for water stages, and because of that, the water here in Chemical Plant and Aquatic Ruin, while I'm thinking about it, isn't terribly predominant. Like, water barely plays a role here in Chemical Plant, whereas Aquatic Ruin, it's more noticeable, but if you play a stage correctly, you completely skip the water section. Basically, has good platforming. Anyway, here we are at the fourth special stage, and it's the Silver Stage. Foreshadowing for Silver the Hedgehog, maybe? Probably not, though, because he didn't show up until Sonic 2006, and that wouldn't be until 14 years after this game was made. Unfortunately, he wound up in a very controversial entry in the Sonic series, we'll just say. Man, I gotta finish Sonic 06 sometime. Just like with Unleashed and Colors, I didn't finish both of those until near the end of the last decade. 06, however, remains unfinished, so that needs to go on my list of games to finish. And I bet that some of y'all are looking forward to a playthrough of that game, considering the reputation that it has. But we'll come back to that in a later video. So far, so good. 148 ranks, and we're only 2 away from reaching the third requirement. Let's go. Oh, Tails! Wow, he avoided that one like the last frame. Picking up on them reflexes, I see. He doesn't have that many rings to drop, though. He only has 12 on him, so if he does drop them, I'm not all that worried. As long as I don't get hit, that's all that matters. Whoa! Okay, Tails! I see you with them reactions, boy! You learned from the best. Okay, and this stage kind of breaks tradition. This is apparently the pink emerald, but it does not match anything about the silver stage at all. So I guess they weren't planning on following a pattern in the first place. It was purely coincidental. But that's it for the fourth stage. We got the fourth emerald, and we reached our cap on how many emeralds we're gonna get in this episode. Now back to Chemical Plant. Whoa, be careful. You don't want this guy to scoop you up. If he does, though, you can just mash every button on the controller and you can get out of there immediately before he blows up and hurts you. And there's an area up there that I don't think I can get to without a little help from Tails. Tails, come back here. Come on, Sonic. I'd like him to fly you up there and you wound up wasting his flight fuel. Come on. By the way, if you're wondering how to manually activate Tails' flight mode when he's your partner character, I think you have to hold up on the D-pad and double jump, and then he'll start flying. But for him to actually carry you, you have to jump to him. But he can then carry you whatever you want him to go. But you gotta be careful because he can only stay in mid-air for a period of time. It can't last forever. I wonder if he gets infinite fuel when in his super form. I'm sure he has his super form here. Yes, this is the reason that people tend to have nightmares about the Chemical Plant Zone. You go through this gate, and then the water level rises, and you have to like wade through these blocks to get to the very top before you actually drown. But one thing you can do is skip it entirely by pulling off this jump right here, provided I can get enough height to do so. You probably would need the water to help you with that, only if I go through this gate, I can't go back. So, try it again. Come on! Oh, crap. Maybe I'd have better luck if I did it like this instead. Rev it up and go! Or not. You know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna go through here. Already here, so... I almost got crushed! Oh my god, oh my god, I almost got sandwiched again. These blocks are so awkwardly positioned that you can easily die. The threat of drowning aside. Oh my lord. But we did it just fine. And wow, that counter was actually for Tails. If you see it count down starting from 5, but the drowning music doesn't play, that's Tails about to drown. But he's immortal, so we're not worried about that, are we? Now, this here you can just jump past with a spin dash, I think. Yeah, there you go. And there's a drop dash, which I neglected to show off in the last episode, which is funny as heck, because I spent like, what, half the last video going over the options for the game, and the many ways that you can play, including the drop dash, which I've gone into extensive detail about, I think. Tails, I swear to God, don't you dare troll me. Don't you troll me. Thank you. I prefer that you die without getting me dragged down with you, okay? Because if those platforms are facing the wrong side after you beat the boss, or even before you've beaten it, you can actually die because those are bottomless pits on both sides of the stage. And as you just seen, I pulled off an 8-hit combo that basically one-shots the boss. You can actually get an achievement for that when playing Sonic 2 Absolute, but I've already unlocked it, which is why it didn't pop up here. And with that, that is it for the Chemical Plant Zone. And now, we can get to one of 2 stages that make up the best of Sonic 2 in my eyes. And that stage is the Aquatic Ruin Zone. It's only preview of it though, as we are doing only 1 stage per episode. Well, for most of the stages here. For some of these, I may end up putting 2 stages into 1 episode. I'll think about what I want to do at some point. Until then, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, let me know your feedback with your likes and comments down below. If you want to keep up the series, just hit that sub button and ring that bell to stay up to date on my content as usual. Until then, I'll see you next time for when we go through the Aquatic Ruin Zone. Until then, take care, and don't forget, blue blurs for life. Also, I know y'all see the Sonic hoodie, huh? I know y'all see it. You know I had to throw it in there, right? But yeah, take care. Later.